Hey, friend. I want to start out this episode by saying give yourself grace. You've just come back from the doctor's appointment, or you've known this for a while. You went and they are throwing different diagnoses at you, like fatty liver and prediabetes. And not only you, but your children are getting some of the same diagnosis with no real reason why, as well as no strategy to get rid of it. They just tell you you have this disease and they go on about their teaching or telling you, do you need a prescription refill? This is so frustrating. And I want you to know that you're not alone. And if I was here with you, I would give you a nice big hug to let you know everything is going to be okay. And honestly, this is some of the things that disturb me the most about being a visiting nurse because I was hearing how many parents and grandparents were telling me that their children had fatty liver disease, had prediabetes. A child, y'all. And that really broke my heart. So many families were told these diagnoses, but never taught what caused it, why it matters, or what to do about it. Because fatty liver is not just a liver problem. It's often one of the earliest warning signs that the body is struggling metabolically. And friend, your body always whispers before it screams. So let's talk about it. If you're tired of sugar cravings, brain fog, fatigue, and all the conflicting health and diet advice, and you just want to know what's happening inside of your body, you're in the right place. I'm TaShawn Davis, holistic health coach, registered nurse, and metabolic health educator. I help you break sugar cravings through balanced blood sugar so you can take your health back naturally. So grab your favorite sugar-free drink, pop in those earbuds, and let's learn how to work with our body and not against it. This is probably one of the most important episodes that I've made thus far. This topic is so near and dear to me. It is one of the reasons why I decided to dive in a little bit deeper into writing the books that I've written and deciding to become a holistic health coach because of the children that are being affected by this very disease. But before we jump in, I do want to talk about the group that I have. It's called Health Beyond Weight Loss, Metabolic Health, and Insulin Resistance, and it's on Facebook. So please remember to join if you haven't joined yet. In there, you can find recipes and different accountability people and just a lot of support. You're not alone in going through this, and this group will help you to understand that. If you need more help and want a free 15-minute consultation, you can reach me by going to www.writethevision22.com and you can book a free 15-minute consultation there, and the links will be in the show notes. All right, so let's get into this topic. So what really pushed me to research this topic deeper was seeing how common fatty liver was becoming. It wasn't just adults anymore. I was seeing children, teenagers, and young adults. And according to the American Liver Foundation, fatty liver disease is now the most common liver disease in children, and rates have more than doubled over the past 20 years. Doubled, y'all. More than doubled. And that should stop us in our tracks because children are not supposed to be developing fatty liver disease. And what concerns me even more, that people think that it's no big deal. They'll outgrow it. It's just a little fat. But fatty liver is often a sign that the body is already struggling metabolically. And many times it appears years before the serious disease develops. And this is what I really want people to understand. Your body can primarily burn sugar for fuel or fat for fuel. And it depends on how we eat, what fuel is consistently available. So when insulin stays high, constantly elevated from sugary drinks, processed foods, processed carbohydrates, constant snacking, repeated blood sugar spikes, the body becomes less efficient at accessing stored fat for fuel. And over time, the fat begins to accumulate where it should not, including the liver. And so fatty liver is not just a liver problem. but it's a very important metabolic warning sign. I do not know how to say that word right. You'll hear me saying metabolic all the time. So now it has changed from non-alcoholic fatty liver, which was NAFLD. Even the name of the fatty liver has recently changed. Why? Because researchers and medical professionals are realizing that this is not about the liver anymore. It's not just about the liver. It's connected to insulin resistance, blood sugar, obesity, high blood pressure, triglycerides, inflammation, and metabolic dysfunction, which all circles back to insulin resistance. For many years, people have heard the term NAFLD, which stood for non-alcoholic fatty liver disease, meaning fatty liver in people who were not heavy drinkers. So the people who weren't heavy drinkers were getting fatty liver disease, but it wasn't connected to alcohol. Now, many experts are transitioning to a new term, and this new term is metabolic dysfunction associated steatotic liver disease. And I may have jacked that name up, but it's metabolic dysfunction. And that's a big name. But what truly matters is this: they are connecting this disease deeply to a metabolic health issue. The next stage of this liver disease, which is after you've had this liver disease for so long, you begin to get this scarring. And they used to call it NASH, which is non-alcoholic steatohepatitis. Probably jacked that up too. But now many experts are calling this disease MASH, which is metabolic dysfunction associated steatotic hepatitis. Again, that name metabolic gives us a big clue as to their understanding that this is just not a random disease. It's coming from the foods that we eat. It's coming from a metabolic issue. And so this is where the inflammation and liver damage begin happening, and it's causing fibrosis or scarring. And that's why early awareness matters. So this is where we really need to take an honest look. We've connected the decrease in the consumption of meat and cholesterol and everything with increase in diabetes and different disease processes over time. We've seen the elevation, especially type 2 diabetes going up. And now whenever we are looking at our liver, there is a few things that we can connect here, okay? Just stay with me for a moment. And so this is where we really need to talk about juice, y'all. Because this trend of juicing and all of that, it started probably about 20-ish years ago, okay? And we have consumed more juice. We're giving our children more juice because it's more healthy, and we're seeing this liver disease increase. Because many people believe that juice cleanses, smoothie bowls, juicing trends, and natural sugars are automatically healthy. And I understand why people may think that. But when we juice fruit, we remove much of the fiber while consuming large amounts of sugar very quickly. And fructose is primarily processed, guess what, y'all? Through the liver. So when the liver is repeatedly overwhelmed with excess sugar, especially liquid sugar, fat accumulation in the liver will increase over time. This doesn't mean that fruit is evil, but it means that the context matters. Insulin resistance matters, metabolic health matters, and fiber matters. I often tell my clients that berries, anything ending in berries is fine, but still an over excessive amount can still raise your blood sugar and cause an overwhelm to your liver and increase your insulin as well. And honestly, this is why education matters so much. As grandparents, parents, caregivers, we are the ones who shape our children's plate. We teach them what breakfast looks like, what snacks looks like, what celebrations look like, and what daily eating habits look like. And we say this, and just hear me out. I'm not saying this with any kind of shame, but most families are doing the best they can do and doing what they know how to do and what they've been told to do. I mean, I was on WIC as a child, and on WIC, they made sure you had juice and milk and all cheese and all the things. So it was normal for me to always have that juicy juice. I love the juicy juice, y'all. But once we know better, we begin to make better choices together. And small changes matter. Our children are watching us. When they see us with these better meals, the increase in protein and cooking at home and healthier habits with consistency, this becomes their new norm. And that really matters, y'all, because a lot of disease processes, especially the metabolic ones, are habits that we form. They're not necessarily hereditary, but they're the habits that our children see. So the 5 early signs of liver disease, and I'm going to tell you, most of the time there are no signs until it's too late. But because we know that this is a metabolic issue, we can just relate it right back to some of the issues you would see in insulin resistance. So people may feel exhausted. So fatigue would be one sign. The belly fat, increased fat around your abdomen is sign number 2. High triglycerides. And this is one of the labs that I wish more people would understand. It is directly related to the carbohydrates and sugar. We need to know a little bit more about making sure that our triglycerides are low. Number 4, the brain fog. We may have difficulty concentrating and low mental energy. And number 5, prediabetes or elevated blood sugar because insulin resistance. Many people develop fatty liver before type 2 diabetes, though. So we need to be very careful. Like, these signs are important. I mean, if you looked at my other episode, 13 signs of insulin resistance, any of these could be an issue that our liver may be next. This is why I keep saying prediabetes is not almost diabetes. And fatty liver is not just a liver issue. The body is communicating. And the earlier we listen, the more opportunity we have to change the direction. Now, here's the good news. The body is incredibly resilient. And many people begin seeing improvements when they reduce their sugar, reduce the ultra-processed foods and carbohydrates, stabilize your blood sugar, prioritize protein, you improve your sleep, and reduce the constant insulin spikes. There are studies that show within 2 weeks that your fatty liver will decrease by half when you cut carbohydrates and sugar down to below 50 grams per day. Small changes done consistently always matter. And friend, if this episode feels emotional to you, that's okay. Because I really believe many people were never taught how all of this is connected. It's not about fear. It's about awareness. This is about understanding the body and how it's trying to communicate well before there are serious signs or serious disease develops. But it could be crying out for help. Let's pay attention. You don't have to walk around and continue to wear this badge of, I have prediabetes or fatty liver, and never being told what to do about it. Here is the plan. Let's execute it and do what we need to do to get better. I have really enjoyed teaching this today, and I hope that you got some value out of this. And remember, if you did, please don't forget to share it and write a review. The reviews really help more people get this information. Don't forget that we have a free 3-day guide, a sugar reset guide to help you take back control of your sugar. Don't forget the Facebook group, Healthy Beyond Weight Loss and Metabolic Health on Facebook. If you haven't already, go back and listen to the last episode, Still Gaining Weight, Eating Healthy, 5 Foods That Are Spiking Your Blood Sugar Every Day. I also recorded an episode with my husband's extremely high blood pressure and how he got it to come to normal range from being 200 over 100 for decades with the best doctors. But it was one doctor who told him one thing that caused him to change everything. Let's continue to go on. I am going to continue to build in this area of insulin resistance and metabolic health and see how we can continue to connect these dots and reverse 1 million type 2 diabetics in my lifetime. Thank you for spending this time with me. And remember, the body often gives you a sign before it begins to break. And the earlier we listen, the more opportunity we have to start healing for ourselves and for the next generation, our children and our grandchildren. This world is waiting for you. You are needed in this hour, for the harvest is plentiful and the laborers are few. God bless you. Alrighty, my friend. If this episode has helped you understand your body a little bit better and helped you have the confidence to make better informed healthcare decisions, share it with someone you know who may be struggling with sugar cravings, brain fog, or fatigue, because they may not even realize that blood sugar could be the reason. And also leave a review because it really helps more people find this. Remember, the goal is to reverse 1 million type 2 diabetes in my lifetime. And as always, I want to remind you the harvest is plentiful, but the laborers are few. And some people are fighting every day just to have the health and energy to live their everyday life that they were called to live. So I am praying for your health. I am praying for your strength. And I'll see you in the next episode.